So it will be very important to understand two or three different things in bacteriology. One is gram staining, another is the ribosome, 16S ribosome, and the third is about antibiotics or antimicrobials. These are the three most important things of bacteriology. So yes, someone sent me an SMS message. Can you tell me what?
She want to raise your voice, doctor. Could you?
Oh, okay, okay. Yes. So you are getting louder. Hello.
Yeah. Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Doctor, the voice very low.
The voice is very low. Is it fine?
Yes, doctor.
Is it fine?
Yes, doctor, fine.
Maybe these microphones are not working very well. Okay. So what I was telling about the most important aspects of learning bacteriology is to understand about the gram staining, how you identify a gram positive and a gram negative bacteria, so that if there will be any infection to someone, you can identify in microscopic structure. Another thing is if something will be there doubtful in the microscopic picture, there is always a molecular characterization that you need to go for sequencing, that will start from 16S RNA sequence. Third will be the most important thing of this microbiology or bacteriology study is the use of antibiotics. So again we will continue with this gram staining and cell wall structure. So we know this bacterial cell is made up of N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acid, and so these are a typical structure of the gram positive cell wall. So it is as we mentioned, it is 20 to 80 nm thick peptidoglycan, and it contains teichoic acid. This is the teichoic acid and lipoteichoic acid. You can find lipoteichoic acid in the gram positive cell wall. So these are two different pictures of the same structure, and some cells have periplasmic space between the cell membrane and the cell wall. So if this is the cell membrane and this is the cell wall, so there will be little bit of space, periplasmic space in between the cell membrane and the cell wall in the case of sorry, gram positive bacteria. You will see the gram negative cell wall. So this is the this cell wall is very thin in the case of gram negative, and if you will say the cell membrane, this is the outer membrane, and this is the periplasmic space, and this is the plasma membrane, and in where the proteins are integrated, and this is the periplasmic space contain peptidoglycan as well. Yes. The inner and outer membrane and periplasmic space between them contain a thin peptidoglycan layer. You see the inner and outer membrane. This is the outer membrane, this is the inner membrane, and there is also a thin peptidoglycan layer. The outer membrane core contain the lipopolysaccharides, LPS, and this lipid portion is sometimes act as endotoxin, and these they may be very toxic when released during the infection. So when the bacteria infected someone and release this, it became very toxic for the human or animals. And this lipopolysaccharide, this lipopolysaccharide molecule also act as a receptor and block some immune response. So it also act as a receptor and it help to block the immune response of the body, so that they can be easily survive inside the infected organism. And they contain porine proteins. Porine proteins, I mean, there are a few proteins called as porins. The pore, they provide the pore in the plasma membranes, and these are usually present in the outer membrane of the outer layer of the membrane, and they allow the molecule to enter into the cell and leaving from the cell. Which molecule need to go out of the cell and which molecule need to come into the cell is decided and regulated by these porine proteins. Sorry. So today still a few are yet to join the class. I am looking, there are 31 students till now. So if you will see this ultrastructure of the gram-positive and gram-negative bacterial cell walls, you see these are the lipoteichoic acid, and this is the teichoic acid, and these are the porine proteins and lipopolysaccharides. So can you tell someone which one is belong to gram positive and which one is gram negative? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So this structure belongs to gram positive or gram negative? Can anybody tell?
Gram positive.
Positive. Positive.
Okay, because it has very thick cell wall, is not it? The cell wall is very thick. And here you can say this similar structure little bit between two membranes. So this is typically gram negative in the periplasmic space. So we already studied this. Also we studied this already. The crystal violet is the primary, then iodine as a mordant. Then we clean with alcohol and add safranin. So there are a few non-typical cell wall you will find. The non-typical cell walls are not like peptidoglycan. And some bacteria that don't have typical cell wall, as we find in gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, that is the peptidoglycan. For example, the Mycobacterium and Nocardia species. They are gram-positive cell wall with lipid known as mycolic acid, or it's called as cod factor. So this Mycobacterium tuberculosis release mycolic acid, and that is the characteristic of Mycobacterium. And this is not a typical cell wall. And they possess high degree of resistance to certain chemicals and dye. So this Mycobacterium is sometimes very heavily resistant to certain chemicals and dye for this staining. That's why even if people infected with Mycobacterium, sometimes when they go for microscopy staining, it don't gives positive. Maximum time this technician gave wrong report, because usually the staining procedure don't work properly. So sometimes this problem happens in the people suffering with Mycobacterium. So it is very strange kind of a pathogenic bacteria, and due to its unusual structure, it gives very high resistance. And for that basis, the acid fast staining procedure is used to stain these microbes for microscopical investigation. Acid fast stain. So the unusual or non-typical bacterial cell wall, the bacteria having non-typical cell wall is stained using acid fast stain. And so if somebody will ask you how you can identify a Mycobacterium using microscopic observation, you can say it is acid fast stain rather than gram stain. You understand, students?
Yes.
That's good. And some bacteria don't have cell wall. For example, Mycoplasma. Sometimes few bacteria don't have cell wall, and the cell wall is stabilized by sterol. Don't have cell wall means that is not made up of this peptidoglycan, this N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acid and all these teichoic acid and LPS. So some sterol stabilize the cell wall of the Mycoplasma, and their character is pleomorphic. So they change their shape and size sometimes. Usually the shape, morphic means morphology, pleo means different. So they continuously change their shapes because they don't have fixed cell wall to give a strict or a specific structure. So as gram positive and gram negative bacteria have their cell wall, it gives a specific shape to them. The cell wall gives proper shape to an organism. But this Mycoplasma is pleomorphic, it changes its shape. Now come to the resistant mechanism of bacteria, that is sporulation, or their survival strategy. So when any bacteria will come across any stress factor, high temperature or any antibiotic or low temperature, they try to overcome the stress. So how they will overcome? For example, some antibiotic is injected to someone's body, and there is a bacterial infection. So the bacteria are also very clever. If you don't give specific doses of antibiotic, and if the dose will be very less, bacteria will sense that there is antibiotic. But if the concentration will be not sufficient, the bacteria will cleverly try to hide or try to save itself from this antibiotics. So what they will do, they will start to make a endospore, the cocoon-like structure. You might have know about the cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the moth remains, and stays safe. So they develop a spore-like structure. If you will see, this is the bacteria. It has developed an endospore. So how it works? You see, this is the normal bacterial cell. And when they got any stress signaling or whatever awkward condition, they try to avoid that stress period. So what they do, they try to make this endospore, and this is the preliminary stage of endospore formation. So it is called a spore. But you see the mother cell, the original cell is intact in one side. In the other side, you say it's made a circle-like structure and keeps its genetic content and everything. And this mother cell is still one side. In this stage, you can see the spore is completely prepared with all the genetic content, and the mother cell is still here. And this spore is already inside the original vegetative cell. Later, it developed this thick endospore layer, so that high temperature, low temperature, or acid content cannot be able to break it down. Sometimes the endospore are so strong that it need more than 300 and 400 degrees Celsius to destroy it. So this endospore layer, the layer of this endospore is very strong. And after that, it will develop its own cell and start to germination. And when it will start to germination, the original vegetative mother cell will start to degrade, and this endospore again develop into a normal vegetative cell. So this is the procedure how a bacteria survive or avoid stress condition and make spores to make it survive for long time, and from the spore how it get germinate. So if you will see in the right side, this is the core of the this is the core of the spore, and this is the inner membrane, and this is the gram cell wall, this is the cortex region, this is the outer membrane, and this is the coat. So you can find these kind of different region in any spore, and this is the classic example of one spore I have provided in the slide. And this is the same structure. Here it's mentioned as different stage. This is the vegetative stage. This is stage 2. This is 4 spore, and this in the stage 3. See the stage 3. And so this is, you can say this is stage 3, and at stage 4th and 5th it develops strongly, and in stage 6th and 7th it this is 6th and 7th, this mother cell got destroyed, and it became a full vegetative cell. So did you all able to understand what I spoke here?
Doctor, excuse me, you can repeat?
Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Which part, please?
The steps of endospore.
This step, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I am just telling this is the procedure. Okay, and this is the starting stage. So you can say this is the stage 2nd. And this is slightly developed endospore. You can say this is stage 3rd, and this is fully developed. This is, and this is also fully developed endospore. You can say them stage 4th and 5th. But this is the, now this spore is going to germinate again. So when it will germinate, because it is inside the mother cell already, so mother cell will die. So mother cell is getting died, its cell structure is getting degraded and getting lysis. So you can say these stages are 5th and 6th stage. But it is not mandatory what is the what stage. You need to understand. You need to understand that for formation happen like this, then it's developed like this, then it became circular like this, then it became strongly walled. It makes strong wall around it. Then it start to grow. Subsequently, it lead to lysis of the mother cell, and the endosperm got germination. And this is the typical structure of a spore, endospore. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
Okay, that's nice. So the spores are metabolically dormant. So you all of know the dormancy means. The dormancy means stay, keep calm, and non-active, just like these seeds. When they don't get water and proper condition, they remain dormant. They don't germinate because the metabolic activity inside the cell is 0. So like this spore is metabolically dormant, like any kind of seeds. In seeds you put water and put in the soil, they will active and they will start to germinate. Until and unless you put water and put them in soil, they will not germinate. Like that, the spore is metabolically dormant because there is no metabolic activity happening inside them. So when appropriate condition comes, I mean, for bacteria, it may be when this antibiotic will degrade and the power of antibiotic will go down, and if the temperature condition will be good, the humidity condition will be good, they will start to germinate. And this endospore are production of spore within the cell. So it produces within the cell and produced by cells growing in rich media, but which are approaching the end of active growth. They can also grow in media, but at the end of the growth, because at the end of the growth, always there is a limiting factor. The media are already finished, the nutrient are already finished, so they attend the stress condition. So some bacteria others who can produce spore are Bacillus, Clostridium, Sporus sarcina, Thermoactinomyces, even this Mycobacterium. They can produce the endospore. So the important thing of endospore is dipicolinic acid. I think the spelling is not correct here. Dipicolinic. Just I need to recheck, or you can Google it. I think it's a dipicolinic acid. So the characteristic feature of an endospore is having dipicolinic acid in it. But this dipicolinic acid is not present in any vegetative cells. Even if you will recall in the gram positive and gram negative, we spoke about lipopolysaccharide, we speak about teichoic acid and others, and sterols, but not dipicolinic acid. This dipicolinic acid you can find only in this endospore. And as I was telling, the endospores are resistant to desiccation, staining, disinfection, chemicals, radiation, and heat. So you just imagine the endospore also resistant to radiation, maybe UV radiation, and this disinfectant, whatever this sanitizer we use, it will not work for the endospore. And even staining don't help us to identify the endospore. And any stress factor just like desiccation and dehydration does not matter. As I told, it resistant to high temperature, 200, 300, sometimes 400 degree Celsius, endospore can survive or sustain. So you already told about the endospore. It comes from vegetative cell, but when it become endospore, its metabolic activity ceases to zero. But when it get a suitable condition, its metabolic activity again starts. Formation of endosperm. It is hardest of all life form. So endospore is the hardest thing of all life form. Withstand extreme heat, drying, freezing, radiation, and chemicals. But endospore is not a mean of reproduction. It's for the purpose of survival. But when it's germinate, it again return to the vegetative cell. It don't make two cells. So you cannot tell it as a reproductive criteria of bacteria. It is produced to make it safe when there will be extreme situation for the bacteria. So we already discussed this sporulation event. So we are finishing this prokaryotic aspect, that is the difference between prokaryote and eukaryote, this gram-positive bacteria, gram-negative bacteria, this cell wall of gram-positive bacteria, cell wall of gram-negative bacteria, and the gram staining procedures, and the bacterial sporulation events. So this is the summary of our you can say chapter 1, and if we'll see the summary here, I summarize it. Bacteria are unicellular living organism. They are prokaryotes, and their cell composition different from eukaryotes, and they can be classified into gram positive and gram negative. And in summary, you can add something more. You can add something more. Bacteria overcome adverse conditions by making spores. For each picolinic acid. I just need to check the spelling of dipicolinic acid. See, dipicolinic acid, as I was telling, that is not the spores are so you can make additional note. So these are the summary we have studied so far, and I hope you all know about this and are able to understand. So
Doctor, we understand.
yeah. So if anybody have any problem, any doubt, you can ask me, and I will try to make you understand if you have any doubt at anywhere.
Doctor,
Yes.
it's better when you upload the chapter before lecture to be understand more and focus with you.
So what is your problem here?
Upload the lecture chapter.
It is already uploaded.
Other
Yes, in model. There's in model.
Yes.
other chapter.
Yeah. Both are there. You did not find?
Okay.
Doctor,
Yes.
Doctor, excuse me. We need to keep all this picture with comment.
Can you repeat?
The picture in the slide should be saved with comment.
Yes.
So, Doctor, how many chapter for this subject?
How many?
How many chapter for this subject?
I need to check. I'll inform, because I am still preparing all the syllabus and other things.
Okay.
And basically what I will teach you, just I can tell you that it will be uh, mm, bacterial molecular biology, genetic engineering, little bit of evolution, mm, medical microbiology, mm, microbial biotechnology, and communicable disease in the case of bacteria, and mm, antibiotics. These will be the most important aspects I will try to cover, and these will give a better understanding in the microbiology to all of you at the basic level and also in the advanced level. Okay. So for the students mm, who has not gone through this lecture or 3 slides, it's already uploaded in the Moodle yesterday. Maybe yesterday 2 p.m. I have uploaded it, and but during sometimes teaching we come to know a lot of new things also during the discussion and teaching. So on that time, when I am typing in the screen, you can note down in your notebook also. So every time don't rely on the screen that if I have put something, it cannot be changed. It can be changed, because it is always good if you are getting more and more good things. And this will give you more benefit than me, obviously, because I am delivering the message to you for your benefit.
Okay, doctor, thanks. We can leave, doctor, because I have another lecture.
Yes, but I will a little bit discuss about the quiz things. It's still there are 10 minutes left, so I will take 5 minutes something. Just for the general knowledge of you guys. So, do you know who is the father of microbiology? You can Google it at least. Hello?
Yes, doctor.
Hello.
Anthony Van.
Leeuwenhoek.
Yes.
Yeah. So, because this guy since a long time, long year ago, they used to study about microbiology a lot, and a few of them, this notable microbiologists, did able to develop the vaccine and antibiotic through their study, but all those things came accidentally. So someday when I will get a little bit of spare time, I will speak about how the science of bacteriology evolved from the history. This Lavoisier, this Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, this Gram, about the Gram staining, and about the development of antibiotic by Fleming. Uh, all those things are very amazing. Those were they were never targeted anything, but they did able to identify all those things accidentally. So developing new science is always accident. And sometimes miracle comes during the course of your study or during the course of your work. And on the time, there was not such a kind of education system merely like that, no bachelor's degree, no master degree like that, but still those people are used to work with these microorganisms. They did able to identify the microorganism, and they did able to culture the microorganism. So in the next slide, in next class, we'll study about how we can grow the microbes in our laboratory, how we can culture them, and what the microbes need and what we get from the microbes. So this will be about the this growth of microbes or microbial culture. So, and I will be uploading, maybe I will upload the slide tomorrow at the after 4 p.m. maybe, so you can have a little bit of look on it. So okay students, if you have any doubt, please ask me, and otherwise we can stop here.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor,
Yes.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
What about
Yes.
the quizzes and the mid?
What about
When
the
will be the first quiz? When will be the first quiz?
first quiz?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to fetch the quiz competition about this chapter?
Yes, doctor, we need
Just
quiz
I
one.
want to know what is the date.
Okay, okay. I will message you, all of you, okay, from message box.
Doctor, message us before a week, not only before a day. We need to prepare.
Yeah, obviously, not instantly. I will just tell the timing. Okay, not I like that. Okay, now you start to fetch the quiz, not like that.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, sure. Anything else?
No, Doctor, thank you.
Okay, thank you, students.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.